Hey, Dan's got a question.
Quick question: how long should a narrative report be for an attorney? Because should they be short, sweet, something easier than defined? Because I've heard some people tell me their narrative report was almost 100 some pages long.
The core, the core of the narrative report might be 4 to 7 pages long,
Okay,
but I could easily have 50 to 100 pages when I add in the addendums.
gotcha.
The addendums, but you don't care about the addendums. That's just copy and paste. You're not trying to organize addendums at all. You're just putting them in their own separate categories and stacking them. I'm not organizing the addendums at all. I
So
just
then it was
I just want
it'd
all
be
the
like your
muscle,
notes.
the nerves, and the nerve. Yeah, and it's everything
Okay,
category,
Yes.
and
got
that
it.
and that's the crap that doctors used to be doing. They would put all of that crap in the main narrative report, and now it's
Yes.
confusing as hell.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But no, the way we do it, you saw how clean you saw that. How clean was that when I went through there? How clean did I clean up the data section?
Right. Right. Highlight or
Did we
underline.
just clean that up or what?
Right.
Per section, how we laid it out, headline, subheadline, or bullets. I mean, it was super clean, and we're only listing the initial results and the results of MMI per category. That's it. Then we're going to the summary and are the telling the story and then the summary. So the actual narrative report, I mean, it could be as little as 3 pages, maybe up to 5 or 7 when you just do the data and then tell the story and then the narrative report. And remember, what you don't know yet is 80% of it's copy and paste.
Yeah.
I'm not going to re-explain the 3 phases of healing every time I do it. I already have it. I'm not going to re-explain what causes pain. I already have it. So 80% of it is copy and paste. So the data section is just, and that's why I said a monkey can do that. There's no thinking involved with that. You're just organizing it. That's all. There's no thinking. And then when you go to tell the story, that's the thought process of, putting sequentially telling the story. And then 80% of that's going to be copy and paste. And you just don't know that yet. And that's why I say, once you have all this generic material, like all the definitions of your test, the legends, the basic research, the basic explanations of what causes pain, anatomical failure, all that stuff, say, now it's real easy, even with the phases of spinal degeneration. I've got it all. Now I'm just going to add it and then personalize it to that patient. So it's much easier than you think. In the beginning, it does seem overwhelming, though. And it does take a lot more in the beginning, just because you're not familiar with the organizational format
Right.
and a lot of the content. So that I say it takes about doing 3 narrative reports, but it takes me about 20 minutes to do a narrative report because 80% of it's there.
I got you. Yeah.
I already know the template. I already know 80%. I'm just going to spend the 20 minutes telling the story and putting it together. That's it. Well, when you guys first start out, you don't know any of that. And that's why it takes a hell of a long time the first time you do your first narrative report. And I mean, it's going to take you a lot of time and energy just to figure out how to organize it.
That's what
And there should be no thought process in the organization. That should be unconscious, incompetent. You should already know it. Well, that's not the case in the beginning. You're still trying to figure out what to put where.
exactly. Exactly.
And that has nothing to do with telling the story.
Nothing to do with telling the story.
See, there's just so much wasted energy and, crap like that, or wasted energy and, trying to get the copy and paste stuff together.
Yeah.
Like getting all the definitions of the tests you do together, and I have a lot of that stuff, but you guys have to personalize it to what you're doing.